Oh man, wonder what's going on today. Guess I should just go and check here. Oh, hey, Goku was in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Featured here in his Super Saiyan blue form.
Wow, couldn't imagine that happening a decade ago. That's pretty cool, I guess. I wonder what...
And it couldn't be Broly, that guy's a toothpick.
No. It can't be. Just can't. Are you telling me that Broly?
Oops, did I just blow it up?
Yes, I could not believe it either. But when that poster first leaked, I was filled with immediate denial and dread. I think everyone was. It had to be fake. It just had to be. But they were wrong. We were all wrong. And now we will rue the day he returned. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan. The walking incarnation of every Dragon Ball power level debate is returning in Dragon Ball Super Broly. This time he's canon, and even more pissed off than before. Now, people are probably asking, wait, wasn't he already canon? Well, no, not really. Not as far as Dragon Ball has a canon. Oh my god. Not that being movie exclusive has ever hampered his popularity, Broly might as well be a major character with how prominent he is in merchandising. Hell, Toriyama and Toei specifically made this new movie because of Broly's popularity. But why Broly? Why is he so popular? There is both a simple and complicated answer, appropriate for a figure as infamous as Broly. Now this video is going to dig into the digital nitty-gritty of online absurdity to understand why that is. So I'd recommend taking a look at my other esoteric internet videos on Gohan Blanco and Naruto in America if you want more background information. Not required, but they will offer some background. Now then, put on your incredibly 2000s anime t-shirt and turn up that Pantera, because we are going to dig into the mystery behind the legendary Super Saiyan.
Yeah, Broly!
Broly. His skin is cold, and his power is maximum. But his origins were humble. Broly was actually not an Akira Toriyama creation. Dragon Ball Z movie writer Takeo Koyama came up with Broly's original character and backstory, which was not uncommon for movie characters. He needed a villain for Dragon Ball Z Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, and, as the name suggests, he came up with Broly, though Broly's actual character design was done by Toriyama. But it is important to note Broly was not a product of Toriyama alone. So what is Broly's character? Well, as any Dragon Ball fan will tell you, and I will repeat this a lot, Broly is big, angry, strong, green, and really angry and green, though he's actually only green when under mind control from his father Paragus, who is also really angry. Did I mention Broly is angry? Broly wants to kill Goku because he made him cry as a baby, and Paragus wants to use Broly to kill Vegeta in revenge for King Vegeta trying to kill Broly. In Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, Paragus uses said mind control to set in motion a poorly thought out revenge plan that ends up getting him and Broly killed. Except not really for Broly. Pretty simple backstory. Got it? So why is Broly so popular then? His original incarnation is about as deep as a puddle, but did I mention Broly is angry? Legendarily angry. If you know anything about Broly, as previously stated, you know he is big, strong, and green. Broly is the legendary Super Saiyan, or Saiyajin, whatever you want to call it. A unique form in all of Dragon Ball, one that makes him really strong and really brutal. His fighting style is short, cruel, and violent, even for a series all about punching. In all of Dragon Ball, there is no other character like Broly. That's not what I meant. No one else fights like Broly, no one else is slick as Broly, and no one else is quick as Broly, and no one else's neck is quite as big as Broly's. Broly was really the first and pretty much only movie-exclusive character to have a substantial backstory, besides like Tapion. But look at this Dragon Quest Chrono Trigger looking doofus. Who remembers him? Broly is also the evil Saiyan, which adds highly to his allure. It's the same reason why people love stuff like Evil Ryu. It is cool to see an evil equivalent of an iconic character. Broly was the only evil Saiyan who could go Super Saiyan, I should say. Plus, who the hell remembers Turles? Get you and your shitty fruit out of here. And looking at Turles, Tapion, and not sure who these guys are, but simply put, for movie original characters, Broly has little competition. How many movie villains are really memorable? Cooler and Android 13? Even then, Cooler was just not Frieza, and Android 13 was just not the Android saga. Broly was the first with a unique, substantial backstory. How did this lumbering oaf get 3 and now 4 movies? 1 arguably good, then 2 of vastly inferior quality. Well, 3 if you consider this swamp creature doobie Broly. He was somehow popular enough to warrant 3 films. Broly, the Legendary Super Saiyan, Broly, Second Coming, and Bio Broly. What unites these 3 movies and makes Broly so important? All 3 were written by Takeo Koyama, but only the first 2 were directed by Shigeyasu Yamauchi, which might explain why Bio Broly is so abominable, but I think that idea was doomed from the start. Yamauchi probably best understood how to display Broly's character through his physicality, not turn him into a bunch of Nickelodeon slime. To understand the allure behind Broly, one has to understand how the English-speaking web was first exposed to him. He was popular long before the movies or even fan subs were released in the Anglosphere. The 3 Broly movies premiered in Japan in 1993 and 1994, but were not released to the Anglosphere until 2005 in English, and were only released together in a triple pack in 2007. All anyone had was images and GIFs. This gave Broly a mystique. Broly's image had over 10 years to leak across the web. There was only the massive image of Broly, totally removed from the context of the movies, and people can be pretty easily convinced by a cool GIF. Imagine you are on a DBZ fan forum in the early 2000s, and all you see is this image. What do you think? If you are a fan, it's probably the coolest thing you have ever seen. Broly was a monster. Plus, Broly appeared in Budokai 3 in 2004, a full year before the first Broly movie was available in the USA. You have no background on this character, but you can see he's an absolute berserker. Without context, Broly seemed like the best DBZ character yet to a certain subset of fans. He had everything those fans wanted: the look, the power, and the transformations. Power level incarnate. Even Shueisha's section chief, Akiyu Ayuoku, understands Broly's appeal overseas. Broly is popular because of how strong he is. As Ayuoku said, overseas, strength determines a character's popularity. He's got bulging muscles and gives Goku a tough fight, so the Super Saiyan version of Broly is popular. And when Funimation released the Broly movie in America, they knew exactly how to accentuate this, with screaming and nu metal. Vic Magania's raspy howl replaced Ben Shimada's smooth confidence for Broly's voice, Mr. Magania destroying his throat to create Broly's iconic English howls. All this wrath and anger backed up by tracks from Haji's Kitchen and Pantera in the dub. As dated as it is now, the scene of Broly transforming with Pantera's Tens was pretty iconic to mid-2000s suburban American rebellion, no matter how embarrassed everyone is by it now. If you wanted to be cool, you listened to metal and watched anime, and by cool, I mean edgy, which it was. The resulting product that actually was the Broly dub? I'm not here to argue about the localization.
And it couldn't be Broly, that guy's a toothpick.
But it is very much a product of its time. Still, there is more than a little nostalgia for it. What better represents teenage rebellion than unhinged destruction backed by thrash metal? A lot of people remember Broly because of this. The dub turned him into an image of the time, one that people could relate to, no matter how dated it is now. He was the walking image of what people thought DBZ was. Big muscly man destroying others in combat while rad music played in the background. Broly, the godfather of Dragon Ball AMVs. So why do people still love him? Besides the tacky metal, Broly has the nostalgia, the power level, and, as stupid as it sounds, the personality. Is that a paradox? After all, Broly is considered the most one-dimensional Dragon Ball character, which he is, if you only focus on dialogue. How many lines does Broly actually have in Broly Legendary Super Saiyan? And the English dub? About 40. I actually counted. Broly is not very talkative, but his few words do leave an impact, no matter how grumbled they are. They are as curt and violent as Broly himself, and they are as equally cheesy. But he doesn't really speak through words, he's more a man of action, and that is why people remember Broly. He leaves a hard impression, a big impact, bashing people through bridges, blowing up cities, and taking on 4 main characters at once. People really do love the look, so why is he so infamous then? Broly does not have much depth, and his motivation is almost nonsense, but he is a great villain if you just want to see things break or explode. It is the power level, the Achilles heel of Dragon Ball. Broly's number is really high. I do not care much about numbers, but some people do. Broly's fans really like his number. There was always that one kid who said Broly could beat anyone. Though that is not their fault. Takeo Koyama insists to this day Broly can beat anyone. Granted, this was back in 2006, but people still run with it. Not like the movies are canon, at least those ones weren't. But Koyama states he used Broly in so many movies because of how strong he was. This has created a good deal of division over Broly. He's either the absolute strongest or a big number with legs. Some are more than a little overzealous about him. Not helped that he emerged in the mid-2000s, otherwise known as the most obnoxious era on the internet. Though today's Broly is not the Broly of yesteryear, Toriyama has confirmed that this is his interpretation of Broly, as to bring him in line with Toriyama's image of Dragon Ball, whatever that might be. So he will likely, hopefully, be a more complex character, but with all the Broly trappings. Not that he still won't be the big green ball of rage everyone loves. Maybe a more modernized Broly will be a bit more developed Broly. Or not. After all, Shueisha did basically confirm this upcoming movie exists due to Western fans. Broly is an absolute oddity. Not to say his popularity is an English-exclusive thing. He has more appeal beyond fan forums and the incredibly edgy 2000s. Broly does have his own popularity in Japan, or should I say, Paragus has his own popularity in Japan, and it is even more incredibly odd than Broly's. Yes, Broly's dad is a fan favorite in Japan. No, there is nothing strange with this. It is a bit more complicated than that, and I do not speak Japanese, so most of the complexity and context is completely lost on me. But I have cobbled together a proper enough explanation, however you can explain this bizarre fascination. Paragus' Japanese popularity is the mirror image of Broly's English popularity. As sincere as Broly's fame is, Paragus' seems mostly ironic, though it has become sincere to some degree. Not for any reason that would make sense in the context of the Broly movies, though. The origins are obscure, but there is a Japanese meme that involves cutting up Broly and Paragus' dialogue from the first Broly movie, making new dialogue out of the clips and putting them in increasingly bizarre situations. It works since Paragus and Broly speak every letter/syllable of the Japanese alphabet in Broly Legendary Super Saiyan. Japanese web users can create coherent sentences from their lines, making jokes with the audio. You can make Paragus and Broly say pretty much anything. It works the same way Hatsune Miku and the Vocaloids do, combining smaller sounds into words. And yes, I did just mention Hatsune Miku in a video on Broly. How's that, Letterman? Editors cut up the dialogue into any situation. To an outsider, it is incredibly bizarre. The best comparison I can come up with is Bane posting. How would you explain Bane posting to someone who speaks minimal to no English? You can try, but it will never really make sense. One has to understand a lot of subtle quirks about language that are hard to convey across cultural barriers. And there are an endless amount of these videos, some incredibly good too, but each is more bizarre than the last. Even if you do not speak a shred of Japanese, you have to appreciate this effort. The Japanese seem to agree. Due to these joke videos and maybe a bit of sincere love, Paragus is a fan favorite in Japan, or he was at least voted a top fan favorite in a poll of characters, no matter his irrelevancy. Though it might be his irrelevancy that makes him so popular. Maybe that's why he's been featured so prominently in these trailers. Not that I expect him to have a much better fate. After all...
Perish at the hand of my own son, not that! No, why has destiny conspired against me so tragically?
So I guess Broly is back in the legendary limelight, looking green and glorious. The good, the bad, and the ugly, or just the misunderstood. That stands to personal opinion. I do not think anyone should hate Broly. Not to say he is not without his problems, but he is just a fictional character. A character with an incredibly bizarre popularity on both sides of the Pacific. And he survives even to this day. After all, his power is maximum, and his skin is cold. You can't destroy Broly's body, nor can you stop his popularity.